Hi all, it's David Semach from Agile Quality Blog, and today we are going to review Selenium WebDriver element locators, focusing on using CSS Selector. So let's start with a short definition of CSS, what it actually means. So CSS meaning Cascading Style Sheets. It is an HTML language used for describing the semantic of HTML, XML elements, the style of the element, and how it represented on the screen. When using CSS, we can review the pattern matching, also known as selectors, that are rules that were defined for different elements in the DOM. When using Selenium WebDriver, we can use the structure and identifiers of the CSS syntax to locate elements. This strategy is superior compared to other methods such as XPath because CSS is more reliable and will work faster in most of the cases. So in order to start our example, let's do some basic things. Let's delete all of this code. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to set, let's check it. Wait, let's is to set the iWeb driver, of course. Let's call it driver. Okay, the second thing is to navigate the URL. So let's write it without the parameter that I'm usually added to my lectures. Uh, Usually I'm setting the URL of the page in a dedicated string, but for this example we can uh, work without it. So okay, prior to it, let's the navigate part. Oh, sorry. So we are going to access my blog. So the address is here. Okay. Um, what is the problem here? Oh, of course. Let's put it under string. Okay, we're all set. We define the driver. We start the navigation to the blog. We maximize the window. And now the next thing that I want to do is to get the CSS syntax. And I will define it to the first thing is the blog. Let's get the CSS syntax for it. So we can go over here, blog, inspect. Okay. Copy CSS selector. Okay. And I want to show you the difference between the two. So you don't, so you will not need to waste time by, there are two options here. The first thing is the CSS selector, and the second thing is the CSS path. The main difference here is that when CSS path is the full path through the DOM tree to the element you wish to locate, starting from the HTML tag. Css Selector is shortest path using CSS Locator and access to the focused item. So let's see the difference between the two. So let's first copy the CSS Selector. As you can see, it's very simple and very short, so I'm going to use it in our example. Okay, and let's copy log CSS full. And now when we are going to copy the full CSS path, let's add it here. Okay, so now you can see the difference. It's starting from the actual HTML body. So it's the entire hierarchy of the HTML code until we reach to this element. So I'm not going to use it. So we have the string to the blog. And now after I'm going to navigate to the blog, I want to select my Selenium automation course over here. So let's do it again. Wait a second. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So all I need to do here is to copy the CSS selector yet again. Let's define new string selenium. Let's call it simply an element. Okay. Okay, here it is. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is to define an iWeb element. Let's call it by simple name element. Okay. And now I'm going to create a method that we are going to use to find the element and to access it. So, okay, let's call the method element selection. Okay, so the first thing that this method is going to use, okay, we will send it the element and the driver itself, and the element that we are going to use, the actual element that we are going to search and access. So let's start with the blog. Okay, of course we will receive error because I didn't create the method, so we can use the compiler error mechanism, and there you go. Here's the method. So what am I going to do in this method? So the first thing that I'm going to do is to create the element and locate the block section. So here it is, element. Find element by CSS, and we are going to use the string. Okay, and the next thing that we want to do, You know what? Let's make it. Uh, um, let's add some code. Okay, so prior clicking on the element, I want to validate that it's actually here. So let's add this code. So if element dot displayed console write line element is there and element dot click. Okay, so this is the first code that we are going to run. Else, if the element is not displayed, I simply want the driver to quit and stop the execution. Okay, there you go. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to navigate to the blog. Let's see if it's okay. Blog. Let's change it here to capital, just so we can know. Okay, let's change it here and there. Okay, so no. So we have the first part of the code. Now what I want to do is to call it again, but now with the element to select. Here it is. Okay. So let's see if we can do anything else for this example. Element is depend, element is there, and let's do something like this. Element dot text. So we're going to print the text of the element into the screen. So let's run it and see what we will get. So now the browser is opened. If you remember, the first thing that we are going to do is to navigate to the blog section. But first, we will maximize the window. So the first thing is click on the blog tab. Here it is. And now, uh, okay, no such element. I will look in method CSS Selector. Okay, what happened there? Oh, of course. Let's add some delay. Let's add some delay to the code. The reason that it failed to find it is just because the browser will add some delays. So let's add the delay over here. Now you know what? Let's wait for something like 7 seconds. Okay, let's run it again, and now it will work like a charm as usual. Okay, let's check it now. Maximize the window. Okay, now the navigation to the blog page and delay of 7 seconds. As you can see, it's very, very slow. So maybe I will actually need to increase the timeout. Now the Windows is now open, so it should be okay. We will navigate to the Selenium Automation Framework part. Here it is. And let's see the prints, what we get from the actual execution. Right, so element is there, blog. This is the first line of the code. Let's close it. Okay. Element is there, Selenium Automation Framework. This is the name of the windows. So that's it for this video. And in the next video, I will cover more advanced approaches to using CSS. And believe me, it's can be much more complicated than what I just demonstrate. If you like this video, please subscribe to my blog and my video channel. I promise to add many great videos that will increase your knowledge base. So if you like it, please subscribe. Thank you and see you in the next video.